Graphs are ways to organize data to help you easily see data and compare it. Today we're going to talk about bar graphs. Take a look at this bar graph. The first thing we need to know is some vocabulary about bar graphs. The first thing is a vertical axis. That is the line that goes up and down on your bar graph. Second, your horizontal axis. This is the line that goes side to side across the bottom of your bar graph. Next is the scale. These are the numbers that you'll see on the side of your bar graph that tell you what you're counting by. It could be by thousands, it could be by twos, it could be by ones, whatever works to fit your data. Next is the title. The title tells you the name of your graph. What are we looking at when we look at your graph? And last are the labels. The labels tell you what info is on the axis. So you will have two labels, one for your vertical axis and one for your horizontal axis. So let's find those vocabulary words on our graph. Here's our title. Now, this is just a skeleton graph. There's no data on this graph. This is just for you to find the parts. So your title will go here above your graph. Here's our vertical axis. Here's our horizontal axis. Here's our two labels. So they tell us, this is where we would say, what is this information on here? What is this information on here? And here's your scale, the numbers that you'll find on one of your axes. So to create a bar graph, we usually use data that's found on a chart. So here's our chart. The bar graph we're making is favorite colors, also the name of our chart. On this chart, it shows a poll where somebody has asked 11 children, what is their favorite color? One child's favorite color was blue, 4 were pink, 2 were green, and 3 were yellow. We want to create a bar graph showing this information. So first we draw our axes, okay? And then we label them. The bottom, we put our different colors that were the options, and then this is where our label goes, colors, so we know what we're looking at. Then we decide on our scale. We look at these numbers and decide what scale will work. Are we talking about thousands and thousands of people? Do we need to label in thousands? Are we only talking about a few, so it's fine to label in ones? Or we're talking about a little bit more, so we need to label in twos or fives. You have to look at your data and decide what scale works best for you. For this particular data, our biggest number is 4. So using a scale of 1 would be perfectly fine. So I'm going to put my scale on my vertical axis. You can put it on your horizontal axis. It's totally up to you. I used up to 5. And I labeled it number of students because that's what these numbers represent. And then you simply draw your bars. So first is blue. So over blue, I went up to 1, drew a bar, and colored it in. Next is pink. There were 4 students who chose pink. So above pink, I drew a line and then drew a bar down and colored it in. Green, favorite was 2, so I came across and drew a bar up to 2. And last was yellow, which was 3. So I went to 3 and drew a bar down. Very simple. Now, if you put your scale down here, then this whole thing will be rotated, so your bars would be going out this way, and your colors would be on this side, and your scale would be down here. That's preference. It's totally up to you which axis you decide to make your scale and which one you want to be your choices.